Anyway, I'd like to thank everyone for being here today. And we do have an exciting project, and the location of it is roughly 13 kilometers on the southwest end of town. Go on Highway 101, the Golden Highway. About 12 minutes later, you'll see our signs on the left side. We have both sides of the road. We're in a 6-kilometer stretch that was overlooked. It goes then into the West Mine, which is a prolific mine with Pan American Silver now. Tony McCooch actually built it with Lakeshore West. But we always watched this section of ground. Years ago, I came to the camp. This would have been 2002. My wife and I bought the Glimmer property, which is over by Matheson. And my wife thought I was completely nuts. She said, you know, this is a great area, Dave, but gold is $2.60 an ounce. And I said, well, it can't stay there. Nobody in South Africa is making money. They're not making money here. You know, you buy mines when you can, when there's big discounts. And anyway, we started that project, and then we put it into Apollo Gold. That's almost right after I got divorced because my wife saw the check that I wrote for the mine off of her bank account. Well, it took me quite a few years to get over that one, but that was okay. So anyway, we'll start with the location again, West Cache Gold Project. We're calling it development driven. The last 5 years have been exploration, drilling, putting feasibility work together, PEA studies, and then moving on to permitting. Now that's easier said than done. But I want to give a thank you to the ministers, Stephen Leckie and George Pure. George Pure, I worked with him on a project, we'll say back in 1999, I'm kind of dating myself, where Placer bought my company out in Nevada on that end of it. So I worked with him, got to know him, and then when he came back, I found he was the mayor of the town, and then later on became the Minister of Mines. But he helped me out a lot getting things started on that end of it. Okay, this one here is just one for a disclaimer, but the next slide here, we'll get into the guts of it here. On the left side of it, you'll see a drill rig, MPLH. They started drilling for us in 2020. Great group. They're from Timmins here, by the way. And great drillers. They put the best on the project. Obviously, the drillers like to stay home. They don't have to go out in the bush, you know, that sort of thing. Caron, the excavating contractors, big one in town, doing an excellent job on our project. And I'll show you how that works. But first of all, like on the right side of the picture, you know, I always talk about our company, Galleon Gold, that sort of thing. But I'm going to talk about the people. People, whether it's the people from Timmins, like Ryan Lougheed. Ryan, are you in the room? Okay, Ryan's not here. Okay, Ryan was with me on the Black Phos project starting in 2002, environmental engineer. He was also a general foreman, then later on became the general manager. And now he came back and he's working on this project with me. And I can't say enough about Ryan. He's amazing. He knows how to put the teams together. He knows what to do and how to do it. He doesn't ask me what to do. He says, Dave, can you help me with this? So I'm more of the support group. And then I've got two others here. Lisa Buchan, raise your hand over there. Lisa is amazing. She's a chemical engineer, PE, but she can do everything. She's my right-hand person, let's call it that, where if I need anything done, she does it. But a lot of times she does it and then says, Dave, this is what we did. And I say, great, that's wonderful. And then it was probably about December. I thought, God, you know, we're going to start a drill program again. I need an explorationist. And Lisa said, well, what about calling Leah? And I said, yeah, I got to get a hold of her. So I called Leah up. Leah Page, please stand up. Our VP of Exploration. And I can't say enough about this VP. She knows how to find gold. She worked at Black Fox, a lot of other projects, studied in Canada, but she started with us again in 2019-20, and she's responsible for the gold that was put on the books. And you're going to hear about 1.5 million ounces she put on the books, and it's growing today with that. And what I can say is, like saying a baseball game, you go, God, that guy's batting 500, that guy's batting 1,000. She's batting 1,000. She hits gold. And she doesn't miss. I think she spends wakeless hours at night plotting and planning how the holes are going to go down, and she hits the target and then calls me up and goes, Dave, we're deviating. I'm going to have to shut the hole off. Then she thinks about it, and then later on she calls me up 2 days later and says, well, we hit the target. So anyway, she asked me not to embarrass her, and I'm not. I'm just giving her, a shout out saying you did a fantastic job for us, and you're doing great. The other people, are the indigenous First Nations. We have 5 First Nations. We have the Matagami, Flying Post, Brunswick House, TTN, Métis, that sort of thing. And I'd like to give a shout out to the chief, Jennifer Constant. I always love seeing her at these gatherings. She's always here, but she had to take care of her people this time. And maybe she'll see a replay of this. But anyway, she's great to have around, very supportive, and she helps me out, helps Ryan out in town here too. Okay, we need to go on to the next slide. Okay, what this is, it's a very busy slide, but it means a lot. What it says is, I call it the heat map. You have the darker colors, you have the light, you have the red. Once you get into red and purple, that's where the high-grade gold is. And we have boxes, and Leah Page, the VP of Exploration, laid this out and said, Dave, if we're going to be successful this round, the next 18,000 meters, I need these targets and I need to start drilling them. So she did. We've made some announcements on them, but we've got not only what we call the number 9 structure, we've got quartz feldspar porphyries 1 through 8 structures, but it's very important, the sediment hosted unit, because it's hosting very high grade gold. And then we have the south zone, and she's been hitting those targets, and you can see down below on this slide it shows south zone. But now you go to the left of the map here, and you see a blue line going up. That's Pan American Silver's line over to the west mine. We have 2 kilometers to drill. We're wide open. Everybody says we're wide open, strike, dip, everything. Well, we are. We're open to the north, the south. We have a tremendous amount of areas. We don't have other projects. We have this one because it's probably about 10 projects in one is what it is. So with that, we've got 550 core holes, 260,000 meters here, 1.56 million ounces as of 2022, which is growing. It's probably well over 2 million now. And are we going to have 3-4 million? Yeah, probably. Okay, the number 9 structure, this is important because this is where we're going to take the de-risking ramp down. We've already started it. It'll go down to the 180 level, or 150 level, the 180, the 210 meter levels. We'll set up blast hole open stopes. We're going to mine 86,500 tons, about 8 gram gold. It'd be about 22,000 ounces of gold. We will ship it to a Pan American Silver's Bell Creek Mill. Great group to work with on that. They've invested with us. But while we were drilling here, I want to point out WC 26237. That was called the BAM hole, B-A-M. And I said, Leah, what does BAM mean? She goes, big ass mine. So, and she was right. When she got the assays back, she did photon, then did fire assays. You've got a little over 40 meters of 4.1 grams, then you've got 12.7 grams at 12 meters, and then so on. You can go down to 9 meters at 16 grams or so on that. What it says from the hanging wall side down, you have one monster vein, and you can actually pick the high grade out of it on the hanging wall side of that. The reason we drilled this hole was to extend the ore body down from the 210 level down to roughly about the 500 meter level, because way down deep, we've got a lot of holes down there that show 10, 12 meters wide of 10 grams, 15 grams, 18 grams, things like that. So it is a stellar ore body. How many ounces can be in one ore chute? 1.5 to 2 million or more. And you look to the right, you see the core, that says it all. It's got the gold ores, it's pyrite, chalcopyrite, some sphalerite overprint in there. But once you start seeing that sort of thing, it kind of pops your eyes open and you say, hey, there's gold there. Now, in 2021, we cut off the first drilling program, did the PEA study, and this is where we got the indicated and inferred for 1.56 million. We did it at $1,650 gold. The PEA study was done at $1,700. So we can take a hell of a whopping in the gold price, like it's been going on the last day or two. But still, you're going to make a hell of a lot of money once you get this mine into production. Our partners, Pan American Silver, Al Manville will talk later, but I met with those guys yesterday, and Steve Busby, the former COO, and that sort of thing. We're working on the mill agreement. They're great partners. They not only offered the mill for us, they offered us money. That was really a plus for us, saying, where are we going to get the money when we started this project? Last October, November, they came in, and then they came in December again. So they've got just under 20 million into our company. They loaned us $46 million on the $90 million project, and they offered the mill for that. They offered equipment, people. They want to see us succeed. So it's the big guys helping the little guys get off the ground, which is just great. So my hat's off to those guys for that. This one shows you more of what I call, you see, access D and access C, that sort of thing. I'll just quickly say they're big shears. There's 8 shears, and then you get over to the number 9, and you see where it says zone number 9. In between, that's where we drilled, and then we hit the south zone. It looks like a mirror image of the number 9. So we technically could be on the number 9 in the south zone for quite a few years before we move out into the other zones. So the BAM, the big ass mine, I think that's true now, that you're going to have one heck of a mine here. This is old numbers. We'll actually regenerate these numbers over the next, we'll say 18 to 24 months, and we expect them to start rising. This was built on 2,400 tons a day, 85,000 ounces per year production. And the cost would be just under $1,000 an ounce. Well, fast forward on inflation, maybe it's 11 or 1,200, but it's a very economic project. Now this is going to be an animated version of the ramp. It was done by Nordman and Lisa Buchan. She edited it very well for me. And you see the ramp coming down. That box cut over to the right has already started, and we'll show you some pictures of that as we come down. This would be 1,250 meters of ramping and then 1,250 meters of other infrastructure that's got to be done on this project. We'll come in on the 150 level with the brown slots, and then the green would be the stopes, roughly about 22,000 per blast hole open stope. Then we'll backfill it with sand, gravel, and cement so we don't inundate any mining around it, below it, above it, that sort of thing. This is de-risking the project because there's been no mines. So from the Lakeshore West all the way into town, you just don't see them there. Okay, stop action here. Roughly at $4,000 gold, I think we're just above 4,000 today. Will be about 100 million in revenue stream. Again, it's about a $90 million project. Not a big margin, but this is a development project where you got a lot of surface work, a lot of things to do with it as you develop the project. This shows you the water treatment system that is going in right now. You see the actual box cut area, you see the waste area dump. All this is permitted. This took several years to get permitted. And I think between Ryan, myself, and Lisa, well, Ryan's hair is gone. Lisa, you still got your hair, I've got mine, but it was a tough go on the permits, but that's the way permitting goes. So on this slide here, this is the box cut. This is where the ramp gets started, and you can see it down below. Caron is working on this, and we'll announce the next week or two the actual contractor that's actually going to do the job. And yes, it will be a hometown group. We're not going outside for that, so there'll be plenty of jobs, and I'm sure the labor supply is tough, but we'll get there. Okay, this is the Caron's backhoe, and you can see the water to the right of it down below. That's where the ramp's going down. Since this picture was taken, we've had 4 drill blast muck systems, and then up above you see the gravels being moved when we're building the water treatment system. And there's the water treatment system itself. But we'll have some big, big ponds when we're done with those. It'll be about 4 or 5 months on the contracting end of it. Now with that, where are we on the schedule? Well, we're pretty much right on schedule. Ryan tells me we're about 2 weeks ahead of schedule. We're about $1 million under budget. That's what I always want to hear. But I tell Ryan I want it done perfectly right the first time. And by the time we get done, the surface will suffice, everything we're building, full mining operation. We brought in the 27.6 power line, roughly about a $5 million job. We got enough power for the underground, the open pit, and a mill if that comes to pass, say 3 or 4 years from now. So we don't have to do it again. But we will be processing at the Bell Creek Mill probably early 2027 through mid-2027. And then we'll let you know what we're doing. But in the meantime, we'll be building the database. We'll be putting ounces on the books. What do I think it is? Well, Lisa told me not to tell you that's up here for a number, but right now we can say we got 2 million plus, maybe heading to 3 million ounces on the book. It's a world-class ore body, and that mine out there, West Cache, will probably live longer than I will. And I'm only 39, just remember that. We're sticking to that. Okay, investors, they're important. Eric Sprott, he started with us to begin with. Pan American Silver's got an equal stake in here. They really believe in our project, and like I said, they've really helped us out. Then we have different family offices, and myself and Lisa and Leah Page. Everybody invests in the company. So with that, the team makes it happen. I want you to know, without the support of the Matagami First Nations and all the other First Nations, everybody in town, all the people I introduced, we couldn't build a project. I'm just one person, and I help them, I advise them, I help them raise money, I borrow money, that sort of thing. But I'm a mining engineer. I'd love to see gold mines built. That's what gets me up in the morning, building a gold mine and pouring that first bar of gold. And that's what I want to see here. So if you're looking for an investment, GGO.V. And we're on the Venture Exchange, and we started out at about 5 cents a share. I think yesterday we had 99 cents or $1. Gold's been coming off, but it's still a hell of a buy. What's your valuation? It should be $2, $3, $4. I don't know. Maybe $15 pretty soon if Leah keeps adding ounces of gold to our books here. So it is a very, very good investment for everybody. And I just want to tell you, I love being in Timmins. I said my wife and I were here in 2002. We just keep coming back on mining projects because this is the world gold camp, and you ought to be proud of where everybody lives and what you're doing here. So with that, that's the end of my show here. And I saw Stephen getting up. He's got the cane and the hat, and he was going to pull me off.